Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today's video is something that I've prepped for quite a bit, but also I don't really know exactly how to take it in the direction that I once thought about having it go down. So it might be a little bit of a ramble. I apologize if this is a longer video, but it kind of just is a look into why the SJW social justice warrior movement is pretty much doomed to fail itself, and the end result would be women pretty much blaming themselves. They'd have to blame themselves for their failure and thank men for their success. And that is within the spectrum of what's been happening when it comes to film, TV, and media, things of that nature, where they are picking up a franchise that's already solidified in stone. It has a fan base, it has a following, and all they're doing is they're changing everything from the criteria of how it was led and done by a man, throwing a woman in it and hoping that it does well. So that's pretty much kind of the idea for this whole video, and it begs the question of why are women not really getting as mad about this? Because at least in my eyes, the total just opinion on this one, it really defeats the idea of what the empowerment for women is when it comes to anything, really. Because when it comes to lifting others up, you shouldn't have to drag people down to lift yourself up. If you really are as empowering as you think you are, or as you are being given from a title, a status, or whatever the case is, you should be able to lift up others with you, not have to drag others down to be able to lift yourself up or to make you feel better about yourself and your situation. And that's what a lot of these movies and TV shows are doing as of lately, with the SJW agenda-based propaganda that's going around. Like, for example, Ghostbusters 2016, that reboot, it failed for a reason. And it's not because people don't want to see an all-female led movie. You can look at classic movies like Steel Magnolias, Charlie's Angels, just to name a few, and they were led by women and were successful. And then you have these reboots where all they're doing is, instead of empowering everybody within proximity or just males, females together, they're trying to lift women up and push men down, and their target audience is not men. But when they fail, they blame men. And I actually made a video on that where Elizabeth Banks talks about that, and it'll be right here for you in case you want to watch it. But that's pretty much the main concern, is with equal opportunity comes equal responsibility. And with that, if you really want to be as empowered as you are, especially for all of the SJW agenda-based ideals going on, what they're doing is they're taking a franchise that's already, like I said earlier, it's already solidified in stone. It's already built from the ground up, and they're nitpicking all the little things that they don't like. And the main thing that they don't like is it's led by a man, or that the ideals were created by men to be carried on by a man. So what they're doing is they're taking out the man part, let's just get that out of the way, putting a female in it, and force feeding it down everyone's throat to say, hey, this is how the new idea is going to be. You need to support this. You need to like it. When, if you really are all about female empowerment, why are you having to base your success upon having already something successful done by a man and taking over his legacy? If you're really that good at what you're doing, and you're pretty much that confident in your own success and the success of your ideas, why not start from the ground up? Or is it just a lot easier to take over something that's a lot more successful? It's like when it comes to building any kind of social media platform like Instagram. Is it easier to start from literally 0 followers, 0 following, 0 posts, nobody knows who you are, or to take over a very famous, already loved, cherished, with a huge following platform, put your stuff on there and then hope people respond to it well. It's just like Hollywood in general. Their ideas are, let's go off of material that we already have originality from because it's something that was made, X amount of years ago. Let's just reboot it because we don't want to pay writers to write something new. Let's just take something that's already there and just tweak it, see what happens. And that's where a lot of the failure is, because if that's how the SJW agenda is going to go, hypothetically, let's say that's just how it continues, because right now the reboots and the revamps, all that, whatever you want to call it, those are starting to really fail at the box offices. And just with the viewer totals when it comes to TV as well. If they continue down that road, you will not be able to say that you are successful without thanking the predecessors that made it successful for you. Just like with the Bond film that's about to come out, No Time to Die. There's a Lady 07, a female 007 agent, and she's taking over for Daniel Craig's James Bond. Even in the trailers, you can tell it's very much biased towards, pretty much men are evil, men are the root of all things bad, blah, blah, blah. You are outdated, nobody cares about you, we've moved past you. I've been in this for 2 years, you've been in this for, 10, 20 plus, and I've been in it for a lot shorter, but I know what's right. I'm what works. That doesn't really sit well with, and it's not because I don't want her to be successful, but the idea is if you're really that powerful and that enlightened and that woke, why do you have to tear someone down to make yourself rise in the situation? And that's pretty much the premise of this whole video, because with that said, like, women, you're letting them take so many steps back, because with that, you are letting a man's dynasty, because that's what, and I don't even want to say it like that, but because it is feminism, we have to say it like that. You're letting a man's dynasty, a man's creation, not even just made by a man, but the man that is leading whatever it is that is going on, you're letting the man who has made it successful take the credit, because if you take his legacy, again, let's just, that sentence right there, you're taking his legacy. You're taking his work. You're taking his footsteps and just stepping into them and continuing on from there. You're not creating anything original. It's not yours to even say, we made it. He made it, you took it over. And that's where the problem is. Women, why aren't you more upset about this? Because even when it comes to feminism, it fails. Because you get, the equality, but when it comes to the responsibility, that's where it fails. You're wanting all the praise for none of the actual work. And with that, you can't even give yourself credit for what happened. You're taking an ideal that's already in existence, and you're just, it's like you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig, which is what a lot of women think of guys. So they're pigs, but it's like all you're doing is you're just masking it. It's still as it is, but you're taking an idea that's already beloved and something that is already set in place and just slapping your title on it. It's still the same thing regardless of what you think, say, do, or feel, or whatever. But you're just turning a small little percentage of the ideas, making it your own, and showcasing. But the worst part is, when it's force-fed down someone's throat, that's when your agenda loses. That's when your ideas lose. Because if it's something that is that beloved and that can be that successful, you don't have to force-feed it down someone's throat to force them to accept it for how it is. If it's that good, people will gravitate towards it. You don't need to have a giant following at the very beginning for it to be successful. As long as you stick to the principles that you really believe in and people believe in your vision, it has a great chance of being successful. And you don't need to ride someone's coattails to be able to make that happen. And all those people that are saying that all I'm doing is trying to belittle women and trying to take away opportunities from women.
No. That's not what I said.
With this video, I hope that it kind of incites some people to really think twice about what's going on, because it's ridiculous to be able to have so many agendas against men and to say that you're successful because you're tearing them down. But in the ideas of everything you're doing, you're taking over a man's legacy, and if you're successful, you have to thank him for it. And if you fail, it's your fault. If you would have started with something original, if you would be successful with it, you have all the praise, all the credit. You have everything to gain from it. But because it's so much easier to just take over a platform that is already in existence, that's where the feminism and the SJW agenda, the wokeness, all that fails. And will forever continue to fail. But I just wanted to make this video because it just posed the question and brings the idea of how is it that you don't see this? Because I'll keep making these videos. They're entertaining to me in the idea of how far do you think you're going to be able to push it before it eventually just pushes back harder than what you can push. And I mean, the box office numbers for the videos that keep, tanking at the box office don't lie. I did a whole video on the reboots that fail and why they fail here. And I mean, to even go into more detail, I have countless videos of, the SJW movement and how it's being affected when it comes to movies, TV. First one's right here. The next one is, when it comes to media and just daily life in general. And I'll have that one also here for you in case any of you guys care to watch it. But just wanted to pose the question, bring awareness to something that I've been thinking about for a while. And I hope that any of you guys have learned something from this. And at the very least, I hope it just sparks a little bit of conversation and just kind of gets your mind to thinking about how things really are unfortunately going when it comes to all of this woke nonsense that is being pushed upon everybody these days. But that's about it. If you like the video and want to see more, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification to be notified whenever a new video goes up. If you like the content, please give it a like and share it. It really does help the channel to grow and for me to be able to make videos like this for you in the future. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.